Welcome to Chapter 4 and video lecture T4A on tax avoidance versus tax evasion. Two pieces of good news here. Tax avoidance is a good thing, and so is a nice short video. Let's start by reading the words of Judge Learned Hand. Although Judge Hand never made it to the Supreme Court, he is the most cited judge ever. This is explicit approval to manage your taxes to be as low as legally possible. However, public opinion can deviate. Earlier this decade, we saw a number of large companies taken to task for tax arrangements that were perceived as aggressive. Activism with respect to taxes and inequality has a tendency to increase during bad economic times and decrease when times are good. We discussed the notion of fairness in the last module, and from these headlines you can see that the legal does not always equal fair in the eyes of some taxpayers. Much of the publicity on these issues was generated outside the U.S. Here we have a very strong inclination to agree with Judge Hand. Some years ago, after a particularly contentious income tax rate cut in the state of Massachusetts, the legislature passed a bill that would allow taxpayers that were unhappy with the tax cut to pay at the higher rate. In a state of over 6 million, about 1,000 people paid at the higher rate. Let's look at some examples of avoidance versus evasion. If the CEO has his parking paid under the parking fringe benefit, that is tax avoidance and is perfectly legal under the tax law. If, on the other hand, the company decides to pay the CEO in cash so as not to be reportable, that is tax evasion. Okay, that brings us to the end of this video. The next video is an overview of the variables typically used in tax planning. Thanks for watching.